The OCG is a wild place. So the first list we're going to be looking at today for OCG Thursday. Oh, but of course, what is up, guys? I'm Cool40 here. Welcome to another episode of OCG Thursday, where we're massively confused by some creations that the OCG have made. So the first one we're going to be looking at is this really interesting concept that pushes the boundaries for things that we know. So, first up, we're looking at Golden Castle of Strongberg with some crazy shit. So, this deck actually is abusing stuff like Hex, Trude, and things like the Metal Snake to kind of win. So, Metal Snake Murakumo no Orochi. So if this card is in your hand or graveyard, quick effect, you can banish 8 cards from the top of your deck face down. So I'll summon this card. You can banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down, then target 1 face-up monster on the field and destroy it. You can only use 1 effect of Metal Snake Murakumo no Orochi once per turn, and only once per turn. See, you have this floating body that has the ability to bring itself out. You have Hextrude. If Golden Castle Strongberg is in your field zone, you can normal summon this card without attributing. Once per turn, if Golden Castle Strongberg is in the field zone, you target 1 card in the field, accept this card, and destroy it. And if you do, this card can make 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. This card destroys opponent's monster by battle. You can target 1 face monster you control, boost it by 400 attack. So our whole life purpose in this deck is we're trying to get to our 1 Grand Manju and just kill our opponent while abusing things like Owner's Seal to push our tribute monsters back to us, because, you know, things like Lava Golem, Kaijus, and things like that are generally good cards to be abusing. So, let's kind of dig into to see what's going on here. So we have 2 copies of Bring It Ups, 2 copies of Dogoran, the Mad Flame Kaiju, 2 copies of Phantasmi, just more draw power for more of our roguish matchups, 2 copies of Gadara, the Mystery Dust Kaiju. We have triple copies of Glyph, the Phantom Bird. So you can discard this card to add a Golden Castle Strongberg from our deck to our hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you target 1 card in your opponent's spell and trap card zone and destroy it. This card's actually really good. The fact that it doubles the search for Golden Castle and can pop a back row on its own summon is really good. Of course, we have the 1 Grand Manju Diaiza. We'll gain 400 attack and defense for each banished card that we have, which, I mean, hell, we're going to be feeling this so hard. We have 1 copy of Grinder Golem, 2 copies of Hextrude, triple copies of Lava Golem, triple copies of Maxi. Now we are playing a Mech Knight engine of 2 Blue Sky, 2 copies of Indigo Eclipse, 2 Purple Nightfall, and then we have the triple Metal Snake Murakumo no Orochi. Now, we are packing the triple copies of Golden Castle Strongberg. This card is actually really good in a deck like this. This is all cute. We have 1 copy of Harpy's Featherduster, 1 Erupted Kaiju Slumber, 2 Mind Control, 1 Monster Reborn, and we have triple copies of Owner's Seal, along with 2 copies of Potted Desires, 1 Twin Twister, and 2 Red Reboot. You would think they'd want to play more copies of Grand Manju in this, but I guess this is not the case. The extra deck down here, we have 1 Security Dragon, 1 Ningrisu, 1 Abrimax, 2 Link Karibo, 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 Cerberus, 1 Borlode, 1 copy of the Apostolate Bow of the Goddess, 1 copy of Akashic Magician, 1 Pain Gainer, 1 Seven Sins, 1 Hope Harbinger, and 1 copy of Ningrisu. As we've definitely seen, the TCG really hasn't adapted this yet, but this for Mind Control is really good. Then we have triple copies of Artifact Lancia, 2 copies of Scythe, triple copies of DD Crow, 1 copy of Spell Canceller, 1 copy of Artifact Ignition, triple copies of Sanctum, and 2 copies of There Can Only Be One, because we love floodgating our opponent out. Like I said, this is more of the fun deck for this video, and man, this seems like a fun concept. If you really want something to mess around with, go with this. Like, so next up, we're going to be looking at a little bit of love for Pendulum Endymion in the OCG. Now, this deck is a little bit different over there because they do have Chicken Game. Now, if you guys don't remember, this card is banned in the TCG. The player with the lowest life points takes no damage. Once per turn, during the main phase, that player can pay 1,000 life points to either draw a card, destroy this card, or make your opponent gain 1,000 life points. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's effect activation. So this card's actually pretty nuts for what it does. So we're just kind of using this standard shenanigans for Endymion and stuff. So we are packing the 1 copy of the Amorphage Sloth, Triple copies of Endymion, the mighty master of magic. Triple copies of Magister of Endymion. 1 copy of the Basilisk. Triple copies of Jackal. Triple copies of Jackal King. Triple copies of Mass Service. 1 copy of Reflection of Endymion. And we have triple copies of Servant of Endymion. Now, I wish we could have used 3 copies of this. I really do. This would be so good. So we have triple copies of Chicken Game, triple copies of Magical Citadel of Endymion, triple copies of the Mythical Institution, triple copies of Pot of Desires, triple copies of Spell of Mastery, 1 copy of Terraforming, and triple copies of Outstar Goblin. Hell, when your deck is literally just 34 cards and 6 Upstart Goblins, you're just good to go for the whole game. Plus, this entire deck searches itself. This is literally just the whole armada of spellcaster support. Search, draw, take care of whatever you need. It's all written into the stars in this deck. It's like the paintings on the walls. Now, actually, I got here. We have 1 copy of Security Dragon, 1 copy of Lambada. I can't wait for us to get this. Hey, look, it's Avermax again. We have 1 copy of Linkribo, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 Electromite, 1 copy of the Daybreaker. We have 1 copy of Borreload. Man, Apostla definitely shows up a lot. So we have 1 Apostla, 1 copy of the Supreme King Starving Venom Dragon, 1 Starving Venom Dragon himself, 1 copy of Dragus Topalia, 1 Panzer Dragon, and 1 Mud Dragon. In the side deck here we have triple copies of Max C, triple copies of Book of Eclipse, 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, triple copies of MST, 2 copies of Super Polymerization, and then we have triple Red Reboot wrapping up this list. So I will say, for the most part, to see not really a Pendulum Magician list, but more of Endymion and Mythic Beast kind of coming together, this is a new level of synergy I didn't think we would actually see anytime soon. And then the last list we're going to be exploring today is basically standardized Orkust in the OCG. We've definitely seen this deck come a long way in the OCG. Ever since they got Ding Ding down here, this deck is just kind of evolved. And me and many other people have talked about just wanting to get rid of Mermaid in general, but I mean, it's not necessarily the case. Much like the TCG version that we're trying, Trickstar Light Stage allows us to kind of fight it back against back row because we get to lock something. Also, it's on activation searches for Candina, which is just for Carbine, which starts our entire combo. So, and, I mean, the OCG has Needle Fiber, but we're not even worried about that in this build. So, just a lot of fun stuff that you get to kind of abuse, all in one little roof for a deck. So, we have 1 copy of Armageddon Knight because starters are ridiculous in this deck. Literally, free burial, set up any card combo you need. It's all in 1 core summon. We have 2 copies of Ash Blossom, 2 copies of Ghost Spell. Hey, look! Mathematician also starts your combo. It's almost like he does the exact same thing as Armageddon Knight. What a strange concept. We have triple copies of Max C. This card's never coming back. We have 1 copy of Symbol Skeleton, triple copies of Harp Horror, and then 2 copies of the Orkust Nightmare himself. We have 1 copy of Scrap Recycler, 1 copy of the Silent Boots, 1 copy of Trickstar Candina, 1 Carbine, and 1 copy of the World Wand. Spells, we have triple Called by the Grave. This is a staple in every deck. 1 copy of Foolish Bro, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Orchestrated Babel, 1 Eagle Booster, 1 Hornet Drones, and 2 copies of Engage. Spells, we have 1 Terraforming, and triple copies of Light Stage. Traps, we have triple Imperm, 1 copy of Orchestrated Cresado, then we have 2 copies of Fog Blades, because double Fog Blade is essentially going to be part of your negate board. Now, we have 1 Rusty Tin Can, 1 Kagari, 1 copy of Longrisu, 1 copy of the Phoenix, 2 copies of Mermaid, just in case something actually happens. We have 1 copy of Cerberus, 1 copy of Hida, 2 copies, or triple copies of Galtea, excuse me. We have 1 copy of Borreload, 1 Boral Sword, and then 2 copies of Dingrisu. Side deck here we have triple copies of Prankatops, 2 copies of Fantastical Boy, triple copies of Mind Control, triple copies of Twin Twister, 1 copy of Imperial Order, 2 copies of Unending Nightmare, and 1 copy of Vanity's Emptiness, wrapping up this list. Whew! The OCG is really fun, especially looking at the first list. I'm kind of curious to see. Our top decks are kind of the same, minus like some trouble cards in between, but I think the diversity here is very interesting in those regards. So, guys, every Tuesday and Friday we have Market Watch. Every Thursday is OCG Thursday. We cover 3 decks from the OCG. And, well, guys, I'm out. Take care. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.